Howdy. How do? You know, Marcus Spears, that guy, Stephen A., my buddy Stephen A., just went down. He went for a little bathroom break, so the little Southern Steve is showing up in the house right now. And I got to tell you something, Marcus Spears, Pastor Spears, you understand, T.D. Jake's brother. Let me tell you something, Pastor Spears, right now. As I thought about this, and I really inhaled this, Max Kellerman, this is the thought that came to my mind. I know y'all thinking, I'm thinking that Dak Prescott, right? And this little hip action and all of that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Looking like he's trying to audition for Dancing with the Stars. I know y'all thought I was thinking about Dak Prescott, didn't you? But I got news for you. No, I'm not thinking about any of those quarterbacks in that NFC East. You know what I'm thinking about? The running back. And that would be Ezekiel Elliott. Now, why would I say such a thing, Marcus Spears? Why would I say such a thing, old Southern Steve? I'll tell you why I'm going to say that, Marcus Spears. Do you know that last year, Ezekiel Elliott only had about 244 carries? Now, the only time in his career in the National Football League that he has had less than 300 carries in a season was the year he was suspended for those 6 games. Other than that, every single year, 322 carries as a rookie, 304 carries his 3rd year, 301 carries his 4th year. But last year, in 15 games, only 244 carries. And let me tell you something right now. If Ezekiel Elliott ain't running the football, that puts pressure on that old recovery from injury Dak Prescott to go out there and throw that football more. That you're asking him to drop back the pass. You're asking him to rely on that offensive line to protect him. You're asking him to just fling the football all day. And you know when it's an accident that needs to be waiting to happen. And the Dallas Cowboys are looking to make that happen. It's usually with them throwing that football. So let's be very, very clear. That running game is very, very pivotal to the success of the Dallas Cowboys, which comes down to Ezekiel Elliott. Are you going to fumble this time? He fumbled a little bit more last year than he had at any other time in his career. You know that, Marcus Spears. You know that, Marcus Spears. He did fumble that football. And oh,
Zeke
by the
got
way,
paid and wasn't Zeke anymore.
When I look at him, he averaged better than 4 yards a rush every single year. Last year, it was at 4.0. He didn't rush for 1,000 yards last year, only 979 yards rushing. I'm just saying, Ezekiel Elliott could be a pivotal component to the success or the failure of those Dallas Cowboys. You keep an eye on him, Pastor Spears. You keep an eye on him.
All right, man. I didn't heard enough. And both of y'all, for the sake of this show, I understand it. I get it, fellas. Like, I know. And I know in Mac's heart of hearts, he thinks Daniel Jones is the most important player. Stephen A. Lyons, he don't think Ezekiel Elliott the most important player. Dak Prescott, the most important player. And y'all know damn well that that's the key to this division. Because when we saw, I'm going to start off the field first. I'm not even going to talk about Dak playing the position. Mm-hmm. Do we not remember the response of the Dallas Cowboys when they saw Dak Prescott laid out on the field? Yeah, do y'all not remember the conversations that followed about how important he was to that team as a leader, as a guy? I'm not even talking about playing the game yet. I'm talking about how that team responded when they saw Dak Prescott. And everybody on television, including both of y'all, was talking about, see, that's why you should have paid the man the money. That's why he's more important. Stephen A., for 2 years, I heard you talk about Dak. Everybody went crazy when he missed practice, and he does everything right. He's the perfect guy for the Dallas Cowboys. The bottom line is this. The best quarterback in the NFC East is Dak Prescott. The most important player in the NFC East is Dak Prescott. Because for as much as we talk about these other teams, and we understand where they are, we understand that Fitzmagic is the hope and pride of the Washington football team, that he's going to get it turned around for them offensively. We know that Daniel Jones has had some things added to the team, but we all know, and because it's first take, we got to disagree. But how in the hell are both of y'all going to sit here after watching the Dallas Cowboys last year and not say that Dak Prescott is the most important player in the NFC East?
First of all, he's the best player in the NFC East, And we all
most
anticipate the
important player.
Cowboys are going to have the best offense. We know that already. We think Washington probably going to have the best defense. We know that already, right? But if Daniel Jones shows up, he was 18th QBR as a rookie, 20th as a second-year player. If he brings that up, if he's middle of the pack, 16th, something like that, if he's just solid, average NFL quarterback with the weapons on that team, the second most important player in the NFC East is Saquon Barkley, because without him, the offense went to pieces. It's not Dak and it's not Zeke. They're both on the Giants. It's a quarterback and a running back. It's Daniel Jones and Saquon.
Well, first of all, we ain't interested in Daniel Jones. I mean, please. I mean, first of all, the name alone is boring for crying out loud. I mean,
what the hell are you talking about, man?
I'm just messing with you. I'm just getting on him because Molly called him Danny Dimes. That's all. But I respect Daniel Jones. I think he's got potential. Here's the deal. Here's the reality of the situation, y'all. Marcus Spears, I brought up Ezekiel Elliott because I think he's pivotal to the success of Dak Prescott. See, I think he makes Dak Prescott better because if Dak Prescott can rely on him to be efficient and effective, I think that's going to make Dak Prescott more, even more potent, which basically leads towards your point. I get that. As an aside, however, I'd like to remind you of this. Because you brought up the emotions of the Dallas Cowboys. I want you to know that the Dallas Cowboys are a very emotional bunch, from what I was told. We were in Vegas for the fight this past week in Marcus Spears, and I was at the Aria. You know, the Aria is a nice hotel and stuff like that. You know, I'm a Wynn guy myself, the Wynn Hotel, but it was sold out, so I went to the Aria, right? So we were at the Aria, and I heard the Dallas Cowboys were there. You know, and I walked into that vicinity, and all the next thing you know, I saw a whole bunch of people scattering. It was like the Dallas Cowboys were hiding. They were running from your boy Stephen A. They didn't want to see Stephen A. Marcus Spears. They were running, okay? Because they didn't want to be ridiculed. They didn't want to be reminded. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.